Today we're talking about 7 bottles of bourbon that we've recently finished and whether we would rebuy them again or not. They range from $30 to $200. Stay tuned to find out what we think.
Welcome back to Stuff and Whiskey. I'm Erin.
I'm Josh, and we are here today talking about 7 bottles that we've recently finished and whether we're going to say bye-bye to them or whether we're going to rebuy them. And this...
Bye. I know you were waiting for that.
Yeah,
I was thinking it, and I was like, I wasn't going to do it, but I did it.
It's literally why we named the recurring series what we did, just so that you could, whether you said it out loud or not, you could always think it in your head, and it could bring you a little bit of joy.
It did.
But we hope this video brings you some joy, and we want to start a conversation with you, so you can let us know on these bottles, are you a bye-bye or a rebuy?
Yeah.
If you've tasted them before, or if you've never tasted them before, maybe you're already a bye-bye based on their price tag, because some of these are a little pricey, but we tried to run the gamut here. I actually don't think it's gamut. Sometimes I say gamut like G-A-M-U-T, but that's like a computer monitor gamut. It's run the gambit, G-A-M-B-I-T.
I don't know. I'm going to have to Google that.
In this moment, at 40 years old, I realize I've mispronounced that my entire life. I'm going to have to
check my AP style book on that.
Okay. Anyways, we're going to talk about some bottles. Let's go ahead and get into it.
Okay.
Not delay. First up is going to be Buffalo Trace, specifically the store picks.
Ooh, okay.
Which are indicated by this little copper sticker that indicates where the pick is from.
Gotcha.
We actually finished a couple of these because we had a few of these, and then we got another one, and we needed to clear some space out. So
I already know the answer to this.
What's your answer?
Well, I know you're going to say it's a rebuy because you love store picks.
I love store picks. And while regular old Buffalo Trace is fine, it's a reasonably enjoyable, low-proof pour. I could kind of take it or leave it. But if you said buy it or don't, I'd say buy it. But with a store pick, it's a little different. It's a little unique. I like that. Yeah. And honestly speaking, this is going to be one of the more wild statements I think I've said on the channel before. My favorite Buffalo Trace products through the entire distillery, not including the Buffalo Trace Antique Collection, but just all their other products. It's the Stag Junior, the little squat stag bottle.
Okay.
That, it is, I really like Eagle Rare for a low proof easy sipper, and I really like these. And I actually like these more than Eagle Rare.
These meaning Buffalo Trace store picks.
Yeah. This is probably my second favorite product because you can kind of find it in our market at least. A lot of stores do these picks. It's $30. They're very enjoyable. They're just fun. It's a fun experience in whiskey. You're getting something that's kind of unique. Yeah. It's just enjoyable. So I am a rebuy.
This is a rebuy.
And you actually do like these quite a bit too.
I do. I do tend to like Buffalo Trace, in general.
Usually more than me.
Yeah, more than Josh. So I'm a rebuy.
Yeah, and $30, I mean, you can't go wrong. Next up, we're going to keep the proof low with Green River. We have been fans of this bottle. We've talked about this bottle a fair bit on the channel over the course of the last year or two since it's come out on market. This is the 90 proof, not the wheated, just the regular rye-based bourbon, 90 proof, $35. I poured the last bit of this bottle in a glass the other day, and you were sitting on the couch, and I gave it to you, and you're like, what is this? This has a lot of flavor for being...
Was this the one that you finished it, left the glass on the table, walked away, and then I was like, I'm smelling something. What am I smelling? Was that this one? Remember the other day?
I don't know.
I think it was. I think this was the one. I was smelling it after you finished it, and you were you'd already walked away.
Yeah. That was this. I hadn't finished the bottle. I finished the glass.
I finished the glass, and the glass was just sitting on the table kind of in front of me.
And you smelled the empty glass.
I wasn't smelling it. I was sitting there, and I could smell it.
Oh, I thought
it smelled good. No.
I thought you had picked up the empty.
No, I didn't pick it up. Okay. It smelled good.
Yeah, this is great stuff. This is probably one of the more interesting lower proof sippers on the market, in our opinion. We really like it. For $30 or $35, it would be very high on our list as far as any bottle that you could find on the shelf. It's got enough flavor to be interesting, to be enjoyable. It's not boring. It's not flat. I'm not going to say this is the easiest pour if you're new to whiskey, especially if you're new to bourbon and you find 90 proof pours to be a little overwhelming for your palate. If you're trying to drink them neat, this does have a little bit of spice that's part of the profile. I like that. It makes it, again, not boring for 90 proof, but yeah, can't say enough good things about this.
This is a rebuy.
That's a rebuy. Also, going to take a break real quick because ZBiotics is a rebuy for us as well. And we got to give them a shout out for being today's video sponsor.
Yes.
If you've been around the channel, you know we love Zbiotics. If you've been around the channel, you know we don't say yes to very many, if any, sponsorships. Only people that we really love.
Although I'm still trying to get a mattress sponsorship, so hit me up.
That's just because she loves sleep
That's because I love to sleep all the time.
But Zbiotics is amazing. Drink it before you drink. It literally says the instructions right here, and it's so simple. 1, have a Zbiotics. 2, drink responsibly. As my grandmother would say, drink like you got some sense. 3, enjoy tomorrow. We both work full-time jobs. I have to wake up at 5 a.m. to go to work.
Yep.
I can't be having pores and going into work the next day any less than my best, and that's what Zbiotics gives us.
Yep.
It's super easy. This stuff is a rebuy again and again and again, so much so that we are subscribers ourselves.
We get a monthly subscription sent to us every month.
Right. Whether they sponsor us or not, we subscribe to them.
Correct.
So you can use the discount code down there, or you can click the QR code up here. It'll get you 15% off, and that will stack if you subscribe as well, so you can get even more money off of your first box. And then if it doesn't work for you, maybe you're just a champion, just a freak of nature. And if you are, in the best way possible, no offense intended, but if that's you, then you can return it, money back guaranteed, and they do make good on that.
Yes, they do.
But we know a ton of people who have gotten this stuff. They love it. We love it. We were skeptics to begin with, and we tried it ourselves. They reached out to sponsor us. We were skeptics.
We were like, we need to try this product before we say yes. And we tried it, and we were like, dang it. They're going to have to take a sponsor.
Not only do we have to say yes to the sponsorship, we have to subscribe.
We have to spend our money to do this because this stuff is legit.
Yeah. So Zbiotics is a rebuy. Thank you, Zbiotics, for sponsoring the video. There's a link in the video description below, or you've got all the stuff on the screen as well. So absolute rebuy on that. No brainer.
No brainer.
No brainer. Next bottle up. 1792 Full Proof. And this is a store pick. And this is a store pick that I actually helped pick with a local store.
Oh, and it's empty.
It is empty. I got a few more.
Oh, okay.
But the 1792 Full Proof single barrel picks, or just 1792 Full Proof on the shelf, it might be, and I'm not 100% sure this is a correct statement. I'm trying to think about it as I'm saying it. I think it might be the best value in bourbon, period.
What's the price?
$50. $50 to $55.
Okay.
For 125 proof, 7.5, 8-year Kentucky bourbon.
Okay.
There's not a lot out there that can compare.
If you like this flavor profile, it's the best value. If you don't, it's not. So that's...
Right.
Yeah.
But specs on paper, proof, age.
On paper, yeah.
For the price, you really can't beat this stuff. And if the single barrels can vary quite a bit. Mm-hmm. So... if you're getting one from a store that you know, or you're getting one from a channel because we went and did a 1792 Full Proof pick, and you can get our barrel picks over on Patreon. Did not plan this at all. It just came up naturally. If you want to sign up for our Patreon, that's where we release our barrel picks. It's down there in the video description below. We did do a 1792 Full Proof pick at the end of October. Should be coming out in the spring, maybe early summer sometime, and it is fantastic. Mm-hmm. As much as I love this bottle, the pick that we did is even better. So can't wait for that to come out.
So you're saying that 1792 is a rebuy, specifically because, we did a pick.
Well, no, I'm saying...
We wouldn't have done a pick if it wasn't a rebuy.
No, I'm saying if you want our... Well, yeah, we wouldn't have done a pick if it wasn't a rebuy anyways. If we didn't like it, we wouldn't have done a pick.
Correct.
But
that's what I'm insinuating.
Yes. I caught that halfway through what you were saying. But even if we didn't do a pick, like whether you want our pick or not, again, you can get it down there. But if you don't want it, that's fine. If you want to get one from your local store or whatever... Yeah. We think these are buys all day. You're not spending much money. If you get one that maybe is a little hot, they go great on ice, or they go great with a little bit of water added to them. You can make cocktails with them. You're not out too much money. Fantastic product. They do really good work. Next up is going to be in the same flavor wheelhouse as 1792 Full Proof. And we finished off a Jack Daniel's Tennessee. I just noticed that the bottle's not even pointed. Is that? Oh yeah, okay. That's wow, right. It's empty, so it looks like I'm just looking through clear glass. But anyways, this gold label here indicates the Tennessee whiskey. Great stuff. This particular one is...
Wait, isn't it all Tennessee whiskey?
What do you mean?
Isn't that what they call it?
Yeah. I'm confused as to what you're getting at.
Well, you said this gold label indicates Tennessee whiskey. But
sorry.
All of Jack Daniel's is Tennessee whiskey.
Good catch. The barrel proof.
Okay.
That's the barrel proof.
I was confused.
125.9 proof. The black label is the 94 proof single barrels. Okay. Which, speaking of Patreon, we did one of those picks as well. That should be coming out in like next month or two. So if you want one of those and it's awesome, you can get that over on our Patreon. We just finished these bottles. It just so happens to coincide with things we picked because we like those places. unplanned. Funny though, I'm like laughing at myself and thinking people are thinking this is a setup when it absolutely wasn't. But this stuff is fantastic. It is bourbon. The master distillers have said it's bourbon. It just goes through one extra step of charcoal mellowing to try to round out some of the edges. I don't even know how much effect that has.
What did he say? They're bourbon.
They're bourbon by law, bourbon by nature, Tennessee whiskey by choice. Yeah. I'll put a link in the video description below of our Jack Daniel's barrel proof pick. It has a little bit, it's a quick hit thing. It's like 4 minutes long.
Yeah.
It's more of like a sizzle reel or like it's a fun little thing I put together when we went and did the pick. But there is a little bit of information in there about the history of Jack Daniel's, which is wild. The distillery, how and why they do the things that they do. But this stuff right here for $70 or so, this is a rebuy for me. It's not my favorite. I don't always reach for it, but this is a rebuy for me. Is this a rebuy for you or a bye-bye?
It's fine. Yeah.
It's fine.
It's not a hard pass, so it's a rebuy.
Okay. I think I speak for you and I both when I say if it's between the Tennessee whiskey or the barrel proof rye, we're both rebuys on the barrel proof rye.
Barrel proof rye, 100%.
If the rye, barrel proof rye, and I'm not even a rye guy, but if the rye is sitting on the shelf next to the Tennessee whiskey, I'm getting the rye, I'm leaving the whiskey on the shelf. I'm leaving the Tennessee whiskey on the shelf.
And you mean the barrel proof Tennessee whiskey?
Yes. Their barrel proof rye is
very good.
I maintain that it is the best barrel proof rye on planet Earth. I freaking love it. Jack Daniel's does amazing rye. Next up, also in kind of the same flavor wheelhouse, I'm realizing, the 1792 full proof, the Jack Daniel's, and this are all kind of in a similar flavor. But we finished this Old Forester barrel strength. A lot of people say these are hot. We've had half a dozen of these, and none of them have been too hot as far as bottles we've owned. We've tried pours and bars. Those have not been too hot, but we do like high proof. So
that's fair, we do. So yeah, take that into consideration.
Yeah, and by the way, big shout out to Dave Osment, fellow Alabama Crimson Tide fan. He gifted us this bottle way back when.
I mean, but I'm glad. Thank you. I like him. I don't necessarily like the team that he likes. Or the team I like. Or the team that you like.
Yeah, catching hate from my own wife. But
I love you.
So it goes.
I love you. I just don't like your team.
Yeah. Have good taste in women, bad taste in football teams, in your opinion?
I mean, I'm not going to lie and say Alabama's not a good team. I just don't like them.
Okay, that's fair.
I'm smart enough to know they are a good team. I just don't like them.
That's fair. This is good whiskey, in my opinion. We're working on getting a pick. I just realized this. We're working on getting a pick. Oh. We may or may not get a pick of this year, but we are working on it. We want to pick because we love this stuff. It's really good. They have 100 proof variants that are picks as well. But these single barrel proofs, they usually go in our market for somewhere in the neighborhood of $90 to $120. And at $120, I have passed them up on the shelf because we have a few bottles here. But if we didn't have those bottles, I probably would buy it.
You'd get one? Try to have one at all times?
I'd like to keep one of these around for sure. So for me, this is a rebuy.
Yeah.
I don't know where you're at.
I don't know where I'm at.
At 120, you're probably a bye-bye.
I'm probably a bye-bye, but we can say as a family we're a rebuy because you could convince me to get this.
What about at 90? Would you go for that?
At $90?
Yeah. In our history of the channel, if you looked back, we did have a blind tasting between, I think it was this bottle or it was definitely an Old Forester single barrel proof, barrel strength against George T. Stagg. And that was pretty funny how that shook out. So you can find that way back in the archives when we were in a different set.
When we were in our kitchen?
We were in our kitchen. It was a little bit more structured. I think that was when we had our convoluted scoring system that I thought was cute and clever.
That hot mess.
Yeah, got a little laid back over our time here at the channel. Next up, Calumet 16, $150 bottle in our market, 16-year-old whiskey. This is in our back catalog. We've had tastings of, we did a head-to-head double blind, so we didn't know what we were drinking in either glass, between this and Pappy Van Winkle 23-year. Quite interesting.
Guarantee I probably picked it. I don't remember this, but I can guarantee, knowing what I think about Pappy 23, I picked this. Yeah.
Watch it to see what I think. Yeah. And it's always worth watching Erin's reaction to Pappy Van Winkle 23-year. So even though she told you what she picked, it's still worth seeing her reaction.
I'm just guessing because I don't remember filming that video. Yeah. I just know what I know about Pappy 23 specifically.
So this has been in blind tasting, several blind tastings for us. And because of the price point, because we give it a rating, it's usually thumbs up or just okay, depending on our mood that day. Then we find out the price and we pretty much always go to just okay. Yeah. Doesn't mean we don't like it, just means it's a lot of money to spend and we don't necessarily have to have a bottle of it for that price. With that said, I do like having a bottle of this around, so I am going to be a rebuy on this somewhat begrudgingly, admittedly. I'd rather not spend $150,
Fair.
but it's hard to get 16-year-old Kentucky whiskey. And
Fair.
I'm going to say I am a rebuy on this.
I'll concur.
Okay. What is it, 106 proof?
Yep.
Yeah. So I'm a rebuy 14, 15, 16. I like to have one of those around. I don't need all three of those.
Interesting.
And I do lean towards the 16, personally speaking.
Okay.
And last up, the most expensive bottle of the day is going to be Kelvin Collaboration 5 from Foregate. And this is a bottle we finished recently. In blind tastings, this hasn't blown us away.
Yeah.
But I have, especially me, I have really liked the sweetness that's in this bottle. And I do tend to really like the Kelvin Collaboration things that Foregate do. Now, I think however you say it. I feel like you're a bye-bye on this. It's just too much money for you to want to spend.
Peace out, Brussels sprout.
Yeah. I am even more of a begrudging rebuy on this.
Are you?
Well, here's the thing. I wouldn't buy 5 again, even though I really like it. And I think it's underrated in the lineage of Kelvin collaborations. I really do enjoy it. I wouldn't buy this specific one again, but when the next Kelvin collaboration comes out, I'll buy one of those.
It's good enough for you to spend your money on one you've not had yet.
Yes.
But because of the family of this, you feel comfortable.
Yes.
Okay,
I like experiencing the Kelvin collaboration Foregates, and I'll buy the next one that comes out, but I'm not buying more than one bottle of it. That's just kind of how I go with all these bottles. Let us know what you think. Let us know if you're buy-buys or rebuys on any of them specifically.
Yeah.
For us, value does play a pretty big factor into the equation. Some people, if you got it like that, I think we can kind of recommend all these if you got it like that.
Yeah.
Like, none of them are bad bottles.
No, none of them are bad.
Don't not buy them because of, what's in the bottle. But just from a value standpoint, that's where we fall, and that's what these videos are kind of focused on, which most of our content here on the channel is focused on, the taste versus the value. If you like that sort of thing, subscribe. Like the video if you did like it, and hit that bell down there to let you join us for a live stream. We can talk about value and all sorts of other things on the live stream, back and forth in chat.
All day.
I think that's it.
That's it for today, guys. Be good to each other, and until next time,
Cheers.